Ladies and gentlemen, Ulrich of the Krallen Horde. Turn around. Every now and then nobody casts a spell. Their turn and then I turn around. Turn around. Every now and then. Turn around. Every now and then somebody casts 2 spells, and then I turn into a human again. Turn around. Every now and then. Turn around. Every now and then I wanna bark. Around. Every now and then I wanna bark. And I feel the need to bite, and I need to more than ever. Shout out to our patron of the week, Trevor Lindo. It's Commander Time.
Welcome to Commander Time. We are yet another podcast about the Magic the Gathering format known as Commander.
Yes.
Yeah, we are.
Yes, that's us.
We're number 1 in the Commander podcast game.
We are?
We're number 58.
No, we're number 1.
Okay.
We're number 1. It's the Oprah thing. The secret. It's the secret.
Oh yeah, we ask the universe,
go.
And the universe comes back and gives it to us.
So we need to believe we're number 1 so that we can be number 1.
So this is positive thinking, affirmations.
Yeah.
Okay.
Exactly.
Okay.
We're getting there. Like I said, We are number 58 on some random trending list, so there's that.
Yeah. Thanks, Oprah.
Yeah.
I'm Dean Goody.
I'm Nate Burgess.
And I'm Patrick Sapola.
Today we are talking about Evolve Your Meta, Anti-Tribal. Then we might talk about some games we played, we'll tell you what our pets have been doing, and along the way, maybe you'll hear a goofy song. Depending on Nate's mood, it could be at the beginning, could be at the end. Hey, maybe he'll switch it up and put it in the middle today. I don't know.
Whoa.
What are you doing, Nate?
Whoa. How would that even work?
But first,
hey, you know these Commander 2017 spoilers coming out? You heard about those?
I heard a thing.
I think they might be important.
Yeah, there's going to be some Commander decks, and they're going to be tribal. So there's going to be people playing these decks pretty soon, and they're going to be playing against you. So what are we going to do about it?
Oh, we're gonna play some cards that are really gonna hate on those creature types.
Yeah, we are. Well, I am.
We're gonna hope that nobody plays the cat deck anywhere, so that my rats deck may flourish.
Yeah, we are.
That's my secret hope.
Everybody's gonna start playing Hungry-Links, Patrick. Everyone. I hear they're going to errata it, so it's going to be a legendary cat, just to hate on you.
Well, at least it's mono green. But, in the meantime, we should tell you what the spoiled headline commanders are.
Yeah, these Eminence Commanders. The Eminence thing means that they can just sit there and do stuff for you, and you don't even have to cast them. They can just sit in the command zone, and you get a bonus. It's kind of a little bonus, but it's a bonus.
And then if you do cast them and they're on the battlefield, you still get the same bonus. It doesn't matter where they are.
Yeah. As long as they're not in your hand, or your deck, or your graveyard.
Yeah. Or exiled.
Or exiled. If you put them in a special pocket dimension.
Yeah. Yeah. But it's same rules as Oloro, basically.
That guy.
You get some sort of bonus for having him in the command zone, and then they have some secondary ability when they are out on the field.
So some of them are better than others, but, all of them are a tribal ability.
Yeah, they all care about a tribe. Up first is Arabo, Roar of the World. 3 green-white, so 5 for a 5/5 cat avatar. Let's see. His Eminence ability is at the beginning of combat on your turn. If Robo, War of the World, is in the command zone or on the battlefield. Another target cat you control gets +3/+3 until end of turn.
Free giant growth for your cats.
Yeah, but not him. So that's really key. It makes him not a great target for full Voltron that far, but whenever another cat you control attacks, you may pay 1 green-white. If you do, it gains trample and gets +X/+X until end of turn, where X is its power. So he's more of a classic elf lord, I would say, like a Ezri or something like that.
He's like a Xenagos.
A Xenagos, yeah. But he cares about cats only.
Yeah, sadly.
Yeah, so the other cat comes riding in on his back and gets +3/+3. And maybe trample and double power.
That's not bad.
Which actually becomes +6/+6 if you use his second ability, his trigger.
Yep. And based on what we've seen from the deck, it's gonna be a Equipment Matters deck with a lot of those cats. So, your baseline 2/2 cat might have +3/+0 or some arbitrarily large number that gets doubled right as it attacks.
Yeah.
That's actually, I think, an interesting direction to take for a green-white deck. Usually we see Equipment Matters in mono-white or red-white, but not really. I don't know if we've ever really seen a deck in green-white based around equipment before.
I think it's interesting that we're seeing an Equipment Matters deck for a tribe that doesn't have opposable thumbs to wield the swords. How do they wield the swords if they don't have thumbs?
Well, Leonin have thumbs.
Yeah, but these are cats.
And
just says cat.
Do Leonin have the creature type Leonin, or are they...
They're creature type cat.
Yeah, okay.
It's weird. They are just people cats.
I guess if a Naga can wear Swiftfoot boots, maybe the cats can wield swords. Anyway, what do you think of this guy?
I think it's probably one of the weaker commanders spoiled so far.
Agreed.
Yeah. On the other hand, though, he's the easiest to cast out of the 4 with the Eminence ability.
I suppose it edges out the wizard by a colored mana symbol.
Yeah. And, I mean, he gets a sizable body for it. The cost. He's a 5/5 for 5.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
Plus, now you get to run Loxodon Hammer and Fleecemane Lion. Ooh.
Yeah.
Get in there.
Could do those things. Loxodon Warhammer is good.
Yeah. Fleecemane Lion is good, too. He's a 2/2 for 3. No, he's a 3/3 for 2.
Oh, okay. I thought you were talking about the one that has monstrosity and gets
it does.
indestructible and hexproof.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the one.
Oh, that's the one? Yeah. Okay. Yeah, that is a pretty cool one.
Yeah, he's great.
Everyone in Slack was talking about step links or whatever, the 2 1-for-1. That should be in the deck just for flavor. Maybe not.
Nah.
But it's a cat, Nate.
So?
Hey, exactly.
Just because you're making a tribal deck doesn't mean you use everything.
You don't have to use the bad tribal cards?
No.
Oh.
You don't have to.
I might appreciate it if you do.
Unless the tribe's really small.
That goes against the spirit of the format, Nate.
Well, then you use your changelings. You put in your Taurian Mauler and your Mirror Entity and those guys.
Yeah.
Say, hey, these are vampires.
Those count, right?
See, look. They count.
Look, it's the only green vampire because it's a changeling. Alright, next up we got... we got Edgar Markov next up. He is a 4/4 for 3, red, white, black. He's a vampire knight, so he also doubles up as a knight if you want to build your Mardu knight tribal deck. If Edgar Markov is in the command zone or on the battlefield, create a 1/1 black vampire creature token. He's got first strike and haste, and whenever he attacks, put a +1/+1 counter on each vampire you control.
Now we're talking.
All right. So you sit there and you get a free vampire whenever you cast a vampire.
Yep.
And then whenever he attacks, those vampires get one bigger permanently.
Yeah, so you just wait until you have enough vampires, and then you spend your 6 mana and haste him out, and he attacks.
Mm-hmm.
And then everybody gets a counter.
You could put all the Sorens in this deck and make all the vampire tokens with Soren.
Yep. Vishkal, Olivia.
Ooh.
You can also put in a lot of the Ajanis just to mess with people.
Now you're confusing things.
You could put in Miri the Cursed. She's a vampire.
And a cat.
And a cat.
Ooh, what if we just shuffle the 2 decks together?
Don't do that.
One thing we do know, thanks to some leaker out there, we know that Ixalan is going to give us mono white vampire support.
What?
So it'll be interesting to see what new synergies we get for Edgar Markov coming up in September.
Yeah, are they pirate vampires?
They are clerics.
Cleric vampires?
Yep.
But not pirates.
Not pirates. Not that I saw, anyway.
Or dinosaurs.
Pirate dinosaur vampires. What do we think of Edgar Markov?
I actually like him.
Yeah, he's not bad.
He's solid. He's pretty easy to build, but, I mean, vampires have needed a real good lord for a while now that isn't Olivia. This is good.
And he goes tall and wide.
Mm-hmm.
Sorta.
Yeah, it's going to be a token deck.
He pumps himself.
Yep.
Which is nice.
He's a vampire.
Mm-hmm.
And with Anointed Procession out, you get 2 black vampires.
Whoa, hey now.
Yeah, I think I like him the best out of these 4.
Yeah, he's real solid. He's nice and aggressive. He makes people answer him.
And I have been waiting for a legendary Mardu vampire. And now there are 3 of them.
Yay!
Yeah, I do like that. I think I like some of the other alternate Mardu Vampire commanders for his deck a little better than him.
Well, we'll talk about them in another episode.
Yes.
So how about the Dragon? 4 white, blue, black, red, green. Legendary creature, dragon avatar, 10/10. It costs 9 mana. He's got to be big. He's got Eminence as long as it's in the command zone or on the battlefield. Other dragon spells you cast, not him, other dragon spells, they cost 1 less to cast. And he's flying, of course. And whenever 1 or more dragons you control attack, draw that many cards. That many means the number of dragons. Then, after you've drawn the cards, you may put a permanent card from your hand onto the battlefield. So he's kind of like Maelstrom Wanderer. It's a controlled cascade.
I think this is the Timmiest Timmy card that ever existed.
Yeah, that's a Timmy deck.
In a bad way. This is not a good card.
Why doesn't he have fire breathing?
He's got free dragon playing instead.
Yeah. He has dragon breath.
Yes, he has dragon breath. Breath that spawns dragons from his breath.
All right. And the fourth and
it's like
final.
Dogs with bees in their mouths. And when they bark, they shoot bees at you.
Yes.
Like that, only dragons.
Yeah. With bees.
Wait, who do you think is actually, like, bigger in size? The Dragon or Nicol Bolas?
Nicol Bolas. Yeah, I'm going to go with Nicol Bolas.
He can probably enlarge himself with magic to whatever size he wants.
Yeah, but the Dragon can literally breathe out Nicol Bolas.
Well, all right, fine.
We might be taking the metaphor a bit far.
All right, up last is our Grixis Wizards. Inala Archmage Ritualist, 2 blue, black, red for a 4/5 human wizard with Eminence. Whenever another non-token wizard enters the battlefield under your control, if Inala Archmage Ritualist is in the command zone or on the battlefield, you may pay 1. If you do, create a token that's a copy of that wizard. The token gains haste, exile it at the beginning of the next end step. And then she has an activated ability, which is a classic wizard ability. Tap 5, untap wizards you control. Target player loses 7 life. Well, the losing 7 life is the classic part, but the tapping of wizards is a classic mechanic.
Classic. I think she may have the most powerful Eminence ability of all 4 of the commanders.
Yeah.
I agree.
Because you never have to cast her. You just have to cast regular wizards and then copy them while she's in the command zone.
If there's a lot of wizards out there with enter the battlefield abilities, or since they gain haste, they can tap immediately, or is there a lot of blinking outside of white?
Blue has it.
There's some in blue, a little bit in blue. Also, this gets copied with Panharmonicon. It's not a cast trigger, it's an ETB trigger.
Yeah, it is.
So you can pay 1 twice. Yeah, she is really good.
Yeah, definitely.
Do you pay 1 twice, or do you pay 1 and it happens twice with Panharmonicon?
You have to pay 1 twice.
Okay.
You can't cheat that, unfortunately.
Man.
But you don't actually need to have... The wizards you control don't need to have haste in order to tap them for the ability either. Because it's not the wizard itself who is using an activated ability. It's a cost of the activated ability. So it's kind of like vehicles. You know what I mean?
Yeah, sure. But I'm thinking of wizards that have a tap ability. And since normally you have to wait around for them to lose their summoning sickness to tap them. But since these tokens gain haste, you can tap them to do their own thing.
Yeah.
What wizards are you guys looking forward to abusing with this ability?
Well, I know I really wanted to do Thrall Wizard, but that's only because I misread him for the umpteenth time. And then I realized, no, that's not what I want. Let's see, I think...
It's got cool art, though.
Yeah, he's really good so long as you can remove the black spell condition, but you can't easily. I think Nogglehedge Mage might actually be pretty fun.
Yeah, or how about Puppeteer Clique?
Mm-hmm.
When it comes into play, you get to reanimate a creature from your opponent's graveyards, and then exile it at the beginning of the next end step.
There's also things like Magus of the Coffers.
Or Reflector Mage. Well, Magus of the Coffers, it doesn't have an ETB thing to copy off of this.
You can copy it and then tap it for the tap ability of doubling.
Oh, yes, it gets haste.
Mana, yeah.
That's what I'm saying.
Look at that.
Yeah, there's at least 2 ways to build this. Yeah.
Even stuff that's just like value, like Seagate Oracle, is pretty good.
Archaeomancer.
Yep, Archaeomancer is a wizard Snapcaster Mage, perhaps?
Mm-hmm.
Alright, yeah, I like... well, I won't say I like this one, but I dislike it less than the other ones, perhaps.
It's kind of like Riku, but not permanent.
Right, specifically it's just the wizards.
Yeah.
So those are our tribes. We've got, cats, dragons, vampires, and wizards.
And there are quite a few vampire wizards.
That's true. That's true.
And there's 1 vampire cat.
And it looks like there might be some human tribal support scattered about in these 4 decks also.
Ooh. What makes you say that?
We know that Taigam is a human.
Oh, yeah.
There is 1 vampire dragon.
Yes, vampiric dragon.
Yep. I just needed to jump in with that as well.
All right. Now we know. Yeah, we know that we're getting at least 1 Taigam Ajotime Master, but I saw floating around somewhere that we're getting both Taigams, actually, from both timelines. So,
Whoa.
Those are some humans.
What if they had partner?
Well,
what?
They don't, but what if?
That would be a very strange chronological paradox, wouldn't it?
Yeah, it would.
The best kind.
How do you do that? You need wizards.
Yeah. Or monks.
And he's a monk. Oh my gosh.
Boom, boom, boom.
So, what are we going to do? What are we going to talk about here? We've got...
Gotta move on to our topic of the week.
The main topic.
Are you going to do a little main topic jam, Patrick?
Nope.
Oh.
All right, so they're releasing these 4 tribal decks, and people are going to pick them up, they're going to play them, and you're going to be facing them. And so, how do you prevent yourself from getting stomped by a bunch of cats, dragons, vampire, wizards?
shouldn't be hard. Because these decks are so unwieldy looking.
We'll find out. I have seen some good cards that I'm going to pull out and put into real decks.
I look forward to cannibalizing these decks, yes.
Yeah. So, we're going to talk this episode about anti-tribal countermeasures. How do we fight tribal things? So, I listed a bunch of cards that I'm going to be jamming into decks. But let's talk about, what does a tribal deck mean? What does that imply?
Creatures.
Creatures, usually there is the tribal type.
You keep away from my Eldrazi conscription.
I will. You just keep it safely in your library somewhere.
Yep.
And then under creatures, also, usually you'll have cards making creature tokens, which support your tribe.
Yeah, a lot of tribal decks do have creature tokens in there as well.
Yeah, so they tend to have a going wide strategy included in them. I think Eldrazi might be one of the few that don't really go that wide.
Hello, Spawn.
Yeah, Spawn's being the notable exception to that.
And then you might get some enchantments and artifacts and other stuff like that to pump your team, specifically your tribal team.
Yeah, you tend to see a lot of those, a lot of that kind of stuff. So on EDHREC, this is just the guideline that EDHREC uses. A deck is considered tribal if they have more than 12 creatures, and at least 75% of those creatures have a creature subtype in common.
Mm-hmm.
That seems generously low, but
yeah,
we'll go with it.
I think it might come down to trying to support some lesser-known tribes, like cephalids.
That's fair.
Yeah. So, these first cards, I'm calling this section the Black Plague, because these are all black cards, and a lot of them have something to do with plague, or disease, or something like that.
A lot of the cards we're going to talk about are black. If you want to hate tribes, play the best color.
Yeah, it's the best color. So first up, Tsabo's Decree. Is the T silent? In Tsabo?
I say Tsabo's Decree.
Tsabo's Decree. 5 and a black. It's an instant. You choose a creature type. Target player reveals his or her hand and discards all creature cards of that type from it. Then you destroy all creatures of that type that player controls. They can't be regenerated.
At instant speed?
At instant speed, yep.
That's nuts.
So, take all your cats that are on the board and all the cats that are in your hand and get rid of them. I don't like them. I like my cats. The next one is similar. It's Extinction. It's 4 and a black sorcery. You destroy all creatures of any creature type of your choice. So I've actually been using both of these cards in Yeleva for years now. Been using them since version 1. And they come in very useful.
Do you find one more useful than the other?
Nope. They're both pretty much the same. I'm casting them for free with Yeleva, so I don't really care about the mana difference or the timing.
Yeah, that makes sense.
The discarding with Tsabo's Decree doesn't really hit things very often.
Oh, really? That's interesting. Do you come up against a lot of tribal decks with these cards?
Not so much.
But you will be.
Yeah, you will be.
Well, then that just leaves us with, up next, of Spreading Plague, 4 and a black. Enchantment this time. Whenever a creature comes into play, destroy all other creatures that share a color with it. They can't be regenerated.
Yeah, I like this one. It's pretty cute.
I like this card.
If you have a 5-color creature, then it's going to be a board wipe.
Mm-hmm.
Or, if there's a 5-color creature on the board, then anyone who plays a non-colorless creature is going to kill your thing. So it's kind of tricky to play.
I run this in a deck with no creatures.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is in Magus. Painful Enchantments.
Yeah, and he's rarely a creature.
And even if he is, it doesn't matter. He's indestructible.
Yeah, pretty good.
I like that one a lot. Next up we have some plagues. We've got Engineered Plague, which is an enchantment for 2 and a black. As it comes into play, choose a creature type. All creatures of the chosen type get -1/-1.
Well, it'll kill Edgar Markov's vampire tokens.
Oh, yeah. Very true.
So the next kind of plague is the Endemic Plague for 3 and a black. As an additional cost to play Endemic Plague, sacrifice a creature. Destroy all creatures that share a creature type with a sacrificed creature. They can't be regenerated. So you could sacrifice a changeling and kill everything. You could do some kind of control magic on someone else's creature, grab it, and then sacrifice it. But you need a creature of that type. So you got to figure something out.
You might be best going off with something generic like a knight or something like that, rather than trying to blow up all your opponent's vampires or something in this way.
But I want to blow up the vampires. That's why I have this in the deck.
Well, okay, if you happen to not be playing vampires, but you have a knight incidentally or something like that.
Yeah, then you'll kill Edgar Markov. Sure. Yeah.
And doesn't he make vampire knights?
No, he just makes
vampires.
Regular vampires.
All right, okay.
So yeah, get your changelings and sacrifice them.
Yeah. And then very similar to that card is Outbreak, which is a sorcery for 3 and a black. You may discard a swamp from your hand instead of paying Outbreak's mana cost. Choose a creature type. All creatures of that type get -1/-1 until end of turn. So that one doesn't require you to have the creature type in order to get the effect.
Right. But if Urborg Tomb of Yawgmoth is on the field, it does not make the lands in your hand swamps yet,
Correct.
Does it?
No.
Okay. Continuing the plague theme, Virulent Plague, 2 and a black, enchantment. Creature tokens get -2/-2. So that'll kill off all the zombies. That'll kill off a lot of things.
Yeah.
But tribal decks do tend to have tokens of that type. And if you just want to pay a single black, Illness in the Ranks is an enchantment where creature tokens get -1/-1. So that's pretty cool.
Keep in mind that tribal decks also tend to play Lords, which are 3-mana 2/2 creatures that give all creatures of a type +1/+1 and some other ability usually. So they might try to counteract your plagues.
Man. So speaking of creature tokens, what else we got?
Got Ether Snap.
Oh, officially that's pronounced Ether.
Oh.
The AE is pronounced Ether.
Right. Ether Snap.
Yeah. We actually talked about this in a previous episode, I think, didn't we?
Yeah.
Evolve Your Meta something?
Probably.
Yeah.
I talk about this card a lot.
Yeah.
You like this one, Nate?
Mm-hmm.
What does it do, Patrick?
3 black. Remove all counters from all permanents and exile all tokens at sorcery speed.
Mm-hmm.
So destroy all planeswalkers and exile all tokens. That's pretty good.
Yeah. It's pretty nice.
Yeah. It helps you get rid of stuff like Omnath, Locus of Rage, elemental tokens without getting a pile of damage thrown at your face.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And you can even build a deck that benefits from having counters removed from them.
Hello, Dark Depths. I see you there.
No, you don't.
Oh, that's true. I don't see you anymore because now you're Marit Lage.
Oh, but on the
So that's what he sounds like.
Somehow I always imagined Marit Lage would sound a little bit more insidious, but I like that too.
Well, it's all rumors and the fact of the matter is Marit Lage is just a jolly old fella who happened to get trapped in some ice one time.
Brr.
Yeah, it's like an evil mono black Santa Claus.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
All right, what else we got?
Got Walking Desecration. 2 and a black for a zombie 1/1 with black tap. Creatures of the type of your choice attack this turn if able.
Could be useful.
That could be a thing.
It's a good way to stop, your little guys, like a goblin or an elf or whatever, from really taking off by making them attack into a board before they're fully ready.
And if you're running ghostly prison type effects, people will have to pay to attack you or just attack someone else.
Mm-hmm.
Does it work that way? Can they choose to attack you and then not pay for it?
The game will actually rewind. If they choose to attack you and not pay for it, the game will rewind to the part of the turn where they're declaring their attackers, and they'll have to choose new people to attack.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Magic is a game of time travel.
Yes. Yes, it is.
For some decks. The blue ones, anyway. So, speaking of blue cards, let's move on to cards that aren't black.
The rest of the cards.
The rest of the cards.
I think we got like 7.
Let's start with the blue one. About Artificial Evolution. It's a single blue instant. Change the text of target spell or permanent by replacing all instants of one creature type with another. So you could make Edgar Markov do his bonuses when oysters attack.
It does have to be a legal creature type, though.
I think oysters is a type. Hang on.
Could be a sponge, Nate. Notably, this effect does not end at the end of the turn, so you will just permanently hose one thing.
You're right. Oyster is a legal type. There is one oyster.
Giant oyster. So then Edgar Markov can make 1/1 oyster tokens and put a +1 counter on all his oysters.
But we know that you were really thinking about turning him into a squirrel knight.
Well, there's just one creature type.
Right. You can't... You couldn't make him a...
You couldn't make him a squirrel advisor. You could make him a squirrel vampire or a squirrel knight.
Exactly,
but
yes.
You couldn't change both of them. Unless you copied the spell for some stupid reason.
But wouldn't you want him to be a squirrel knight rather than a oyster knight?
Why?
Oh, I don't know. Actually, oyster knight sounds really awesome.
Yeah, I mean, this is... We're kind of doing it.
We're doing it. All right, what's this red one?
Okay, so we've got Anne Zarin Ruins for 2 red. This is an enchantment. As Anne Zarin Ruins comes into play, choose a creature type. Creatures of the chosen type don't untap during their controller's untap steps. I like this one.
Okay.
That's a solid red way to hate on tribal, which is unexpected.
Yeah, red, sometimes these old cards, they pull a surprise on you, and they've got something weird with no untaps or something like that.
Well, that's the chaos of red. Unpredictable.
I guess it is.
All right, we also got Circle of Solace for 3 and a white. Enchantment, as Circle of Solace comes into play, choose a creature type, and it has an activated ability of 1 and white for the next time a creature of the chosen type would deal damage to you this turn. Prevent that damage.
Okay.
It's Circle of Protection creature type.
I have one of these cards. If anybody wants it, email me. You can have it. I'll send it to you.
Is it Italian?
Nope, it's English.
Oh,
it's just
okay.
bad.
I do like the art in that it has like a double helix on it.
Yeah, the art implies that it's going to protect you from a color, though, rather than a creature type.
Well, that's what the double helix is for.
No, this is the transporter room on the Starship Enterprise.
Oh, right. He's teleporting away from the creature.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
With colors.
Yeah. Next up, we've got Caller of the Hunt. For 2 and a green, she is a creature lord. Can we get an update on that Oracle text?
Human.
Just a human. Okay. She is a human. As you play Caller of the Hunt, choose a creature type. Caller of the Hunt's power and toughness are each equal to the number of creatures in play of the chosen type.
Okay.
So if you're playing against Edgar Markov, you might have a really, really big Caller of the Hunt facing down those vampires.
All right. So if you're already losing, you can have one big creature.
Yeah, she kind of has the Tarmogoyf problem, in that she's just not impactful enough. But you know what? you could always fling her.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. It's
All right.
true for most creatures, in fact.
In a roundabout way, you could fling all of those vampires back in their owner's face.
You can always fling it.
Yep, I have been known to say that.
All right. Next up, Faces of the Past. 2 and a blue enchantment. Whenever a creature is put into a graveyard from play, tap or untap all creatures that share a creature type with it. Huh. So you can tap all your opponent's stuff and untap your own stuff.
If you're playing tribal.
Yeah.
Or just incidental.
This is pretty good if they've got some sacrifice effects in the early game, or even if you just hit something with a kill spell during their first main phase, they're not going to be able to attack you.
Or if you have a bunch of changelings, you could throw them. You could fling your changelings and then tap everything.
Yep, tap it or untap everything. Yeah.
Or untap everything. Yep.
Fling a changeling and tap it all.
But you couldn't pick and choose. It would be one trigger of tapping or untapping everything with that changeling.
Yep.
Right.
Still, this card is pretty good, I think.
Yeah, it's pretty. It's 2 and a blue. That's not much to ask for out of a blue tappy spell.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's almost it's right up there with Intruder Alarm. Not quite as good, maybe, but not bad.
It's versatile.
Up next, we have Riders of Gavany. 2 white for a 3/3 human knight. Vigilance. As Riders of Gavany enter the battlefield, choose a creature type. Human creatures you control have the protection from creatures of the chosen type.
Okay. So you got to be playing human tribal for this.
Or
Kinda.
knight tribal. No, yeah, humans.
Yep.
Never mind. But they are human knights, so there's that.
Well, if you're mono white, you're probably running a lot of humans anyway.
Probably.
Or you could play Artificial Evolution and change human to whatever else you got. Whatever.
Oh, that seems so good.
Now you're thinking like a blue mage.
A blue mage with white human knights.
Mm-hmm. And then you can just ignore the entire situation with a Permeating Mass.
Yeah.
He's 1 green for a spirit 1/3 with the text, whenever Permeating Mass deals combat damage to a creature, that creature becomes a copy of Permeating Mass. This is a kind of effect that could take over the entire game.
Still don't understand how this guy avoided being an ooze.
Yeah, I know. But, at the end of the day, I guess that's okay.
He kind of looks like the what are those things from Dead Space? Have you guys played that game?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he looks like one of those zombies from that game.
Yeah.
He's got the little stalky thing that's going in the guy's face.
Yeah. I think that maybe that guy's face is the guy in front of him, like a mirror.
Yeah, that makes sense. Anyway, this is a card you could play.
So he's a self-perpetuating virus in creature form.
Yep. So if you
green of all colors.
Yeah, so you can shut down any of the cards that somebody is caring about of a specific kind. So like the Catmander we got. No triggers for your attacking cats anymore because they're all spirits. They're 1/3 spirits. So
in theory, have you guys ever actually played against this card? I don't think I've ever even seen it hit the table.
I've heard tales of Permeating Mass hitting the table, but I've never actually seen it myself.
Okay. So he'll block one thing and turn whatever he blocks into a copy of himself. And there's no real way to get rid of that without blinking the creature.
Yep.
Or killing it and reanimating it.
They are a Permeating Mass. And what's really dumb about this card is that even if they kill it, they'll have a Permeating Mass. And then they'll probably attack you because you just turned their really sweet dragon into a Permeating Mass. And then you'll block it. And then you'll have another Permeating Mass. Just slowly.
How are you going to turn the dragon into a Permeating Mass, though?
With a fight card. Give it flying. Who cares?
No, it's got to deal combat damage.
Oh. Combat damage.
Well, give it flying.
Yeah, Chandra's ignition will not work on this guy.
This is a build-around card that
Patrick will be building Permeating Mass, the commander.deck.
Oh.
Patrick is going to errata this card to a legendary status.
This is I mean, at least it's a turn 1 play. Green mass.
Okay.
I'm going to turn everybody into a permeating mass.
You can play it turn 1.
You can do that. All right, speaking of dumb combos, what's in this shapeshifter section?
Okay, so it turns out with shapeshifters, Lorwyn and all of them, they did some silly things with creature types, and you can just start turning shapeshifters into other things. So we got Shapesharer, 1 in a blue, for a 1/1 shapeshifter. He is a changeling, so he has all the tribes. 2 in a blue, target shapeshifter becomes a copy of target creature until your next turn. So if you really just need to shut somebody down for a turn and you have infinite mana, you can turn somebody's creatures all into one thing, assuming you can somehow give them creature type shapeshifter with something like Conspiracy or Xenographed, or with Amoeboid Changeling.
Wait, what?
All right.
Well, the way you would give that with Xenographed and Conspiracy is if you donate it to them.
So if you play Xenographed or Conspiracy, and you play Donate or Harmless Offering, you can use those 2 cards to do stuff, and then use this 3rd card to do a different thing.
Yeah.
What?
Maybe you're doing Zedru?
Okay.
Well, if you make things into shapeshifters, that doesn't make them every creature type. They need to have the changeling ability.
Well, no, you don't need to give them the changeling ability. All you have to do is start changing them into something else with Shapesharer.
Yeah, Shapesharer could turn them all into a Dryad Arbor.
But it requires them to be a shapeshifter.
And you also have to have infinite mana? That seems super easy to pull off. I don't know. Usually when I make infinite mana, I just kind of win the game.
In other possibilities...
So boring.
Turn them all into shapeshifters.
Okay, a better option.
Ta-da!
Listen, there's a much better way to go about this, and that is use Amoeboid Changeling, change one of their creatures into to gain all creature types, and then you Shapesharer them with Mad Blind Phantasm. Or Mirror Blind Phantasm.
Mirror Mad Phantasm?
Yeah, that's the one.
What is Mirror Mad Phantasm? I mean, I know what it does, but like...
It just mills them immediately. So it has to do all the attack. You do that, and when they hit combat, it shuffles that card into their library, but the ability is looking for Mirror Mad Phantasm, and so
wait, what?
You just mill the entire deck. That's the...
Does it give the creature the same name as Mirror Mad Phantasm?
Mm-hmm. It becomes a copy.
Oh, right, it becomes a copy of that card.
Yeah.
Oh.
But then as soon as it leaves the zone, it stops being a copy.
But wait, what?
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
But the Mirror Mad Phantasm is an activated ability that you have to pay mana for.
Oh, yeah, you have to Mindslaver them.
Oh well.
Okay, so step 1, Mindslaver your opponent.
Listen, I'm not even saying this is a great idea.
So it looks like you've got one more combo here with the Amoeboid Changeling, Patrick.
Okay.
No, that was mine. So usually you see Amoeboid Changeling in Sliver Overlord decks because Sliver Overlord has an ability where you pay 3 and you gain control of target sliver. And Amoeboid Changeling can change any creature into a sliver. And then you gain control of it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Olivia Voldaren has a similar ability. For 3 black, you can gain control of target vampire for as long as you control Olivia Voldaren.
But she's not blue.
Yeah, well, yeah. You'd have to play Grixis vampires. But that's a thing you could do.
With Chaleva.
Or Gargazol? What's her name?
Garzazol Plague Queen.
Yeah, that one. Anyway, you're going to get 3 new Vampire Lords coming out soon.
Woo!
Sweet. And we'll talk about them more on a later episodes, I'm sure.
Yeah, I am looking forward to, a post-mortem, a dissection of this set, this expansion. There's some pretty hot cards coming out.
Yeah.
We're getting a return of phasing. How often does that happen?
Every other turn. Ha ha ha.
There's even a rules update for phasing.
Nate loves phasing.
What's the rules update say?
It no longer exiles your tokens when they get phased out.
Yeah, tokens can phase back in.
Mm-hmm.
Does that matter?
It can.
Well, yeah. Previously, you could you could exile someone's tokens by phasing them out. There is a bad magic combo where you can turn an opponent's commander into a non-creature equipment, equip that equipment to a token, and phase the token out, and that person will never be able to get their commander again.
Yep. So now that can't happen anymore.
Does it involve Mindslaver?
No.
No, because phasing doesn't cause it to change zones. It's still on the battlefield. Should we talk about phasing for a minute? Phasing is fun.
Yeah, it's fun.
Maybe we should just give a quick little blip about the card we're talking about here. So this card is the recently spoiled, as of yesterday, August 10th, to Fairies Protection. It's an instant for 2 and a white. Until your next turn, your life total can't change, and you have protection from everything. That's right, you become Progenitus. All permanents you control phase out, exile to Fairies Protection. So when your stuff phases out, they're still there in the zone that they are in, presumably the battlefield.
They just
don't exist. Yeah.
They're uninteractable.
Right. So if in your no turns deck, until your next turn, if everything's phased out, it'll never phase back in?
Yep.
Right, but you will have protection from everything, and your life total can't change.
Sweet.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
If only it said you can't lose the game and your opponents can't win the game. In response, Patrick could activate lethal vapors, or whatever it is, 1,000,000 times.
Yeah, it certainly adds another layer of really hard to interact with. Like, you're going to have to sit down and really think about how to do that. Like, I don't have an answer.
How do I engineer it so I don't get to play again?
Yeah, exactly. Like, I don't have an answer right off the top of my head on how to do it, but I feel like there's a way. Oh, suspend. No, suspend wouldn't work. Because that requires an upkeep.
Yep.
Yeah.
There is a card that phases your stuff in.
Oh, yeah.
Here we go. Time and Tide is an instant for blue-blue. It says all creatures that are phased out phase in, and all creatures with phasing phase out. So you could get your creatures back, but not your lands.
Yeah.
Sweet.
Huh? That's actually...
Don't do it, kids.
Take your turns.
Anyway, we will have a lot more, I'm sure, about C17 coming up for you guys.
Mm-hmm. We might even be more excited about some of these decks than we are right now.
Oh my goodness, yes. There's a fun curse cycle that's awesome. Oh, and it looks like they're continuing the Bastion Protector cycle. Or it looks like they've started to make it a cycle, which is cool.
Where if you control your commander, he gets some bonus.
Commander creatures you control get some bonus.
And more curses.
Yeah. Nate, are you excited about that?
These curses, not really.
Really? That surprises me, because you get some benefit out of them, as well as the person who's triggering the curse.
Yeah.
I don't know. I like the blue, the red, and the green curse.
Me.
The green curse is going to be dangerous.
I'm going to put it in Krufix, because I don't care if you untap your stuff.
Really?
Yeah.
You should care.
Nope, I don't.
Oh, you should?
I'm going to just outvalue you.
Nuh-uh.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to tap my stuff again.
All right, do it. I got a handful of counterspells.
Tappa.
Tap, 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 tap. Banana phone. Do, 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 do.
All right. And that's the episode.
All right. Woo!
Visit us at patreon.com/commandertime.
You can find me on Twitter at Grubfellow.
At Detective Yarmits.
At Mr. Plorg.